ഒരാളേ ഉള്ളൂ, നമ്മളായിരിക്കും അതിൽ. Hello, good afternoon my dear students. Welcome to our news analysis program. Today I shall be discussing the Hindu dated March 11. Sorry that I couldn't come out live yesterday, but don't worry, I shall be covering those papers in the upcoming days. Probably by Monday and Tuesday I shall be covering, don't worry at all. We shall start the program, and I would like to let you know that the questions, the objective type questions that we will be discussing during the program will be available in our mobile application in the daily Gyan section of our mobile application. Ensure that you watch and revise the questions periodically so that it will get they will get imprinted in your mind. So I am starting with the news analysis of March 11. Tirath Singh Rawat is the new Chief Minister of Uttakhand. We knew that Trivendra Singh Rawat resigned as the Chief Minister of Uttakhand, and his place is occupied by the new Chief Minister Tirath Singh Rawat. So that is the main news. So I am proceeding. The first question: who among the following is elected the new Chief Minister of Uttakhand? Of course I have already revealed, but still you may attempt. Is it Tirath Singh Rawat, Trivendra Singh Rawat, Baby Rani Maurya, Raman Singh or Dushyant Gautam? Let the responses come. Who among the following is the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand? Yes, it is Tirath Singh Rawat, and he replaced Trivendra Singh Rawat. The second question: just prior to taking over as the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Tirath Singh Rawat had been Home Minister of the state in the state cabinet, Governor of Himachal Pradesh, an MP from Garhwal, Speaker of Uttarakhand State Assembly, none of these. What had been his position just prior to his becoming the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand? He has got 1 year more to remain in the position of the Chief Minister. So please give me the answer. What had been his position just prior to his becoming the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand? Yes, please. Was he the Home Minister of the state? Was he the Governor of another state, Himachal Pradesh? Was he an MP, Member of Parliament from Garhwal? Or was he the Speaker of the Uttarakhand State Assembly? Yes, Anjana says the Governor of Himachal Pradesh. Somebody gave the third choice. Ruchik retracted his answer. Okay, the answer is that he is an MP from Garhwal. He was an MP from Garhwal. So the third option is your answer. Okay, uphill rescue. The top change in Uttarakhand is indicative of the limits of running a state from New Delhi. Listen, everything is happening from New Delhi. That is what the point suggested by the Hindu. 4 days short of 4 years after he was sworn in, Trivendra Singh Rawat was asked by Bharatiya Janata Party BJP central leadership to make way for Tirath Singh Rawat as Chief Minister of Uttakhand. The new CM was sworn in on Wednesday. The outgoing Rawat failed to keep the house in order. Party workers and MLAs had distanced themselves from him. In fact, his very selection of CM in 2017 had less to do with his popularity or leadership skills than the central leadership's acceptance, liking for him. Okay, even Trivendra Singh Rawat's election as a Chief Minister of Uttarakhand 3 years ago in 2017 was not because of his popularity, but because of the fact that he was picked by the central leadership. So the Hindu rightly asks, he was seen as an imposition from the above. He was seen as an imposition from the above. Far from building bridges with the BJP workers and MLAs, his style of functioning further alienated from the party ecosystem. So it was natural that such a leader who cannot keep the party ecosystem strong and keep the people around the ecosystem happy cannot continue even though he is somebody who was who became the Chief Minister with the liking or acceptance of the central leadership. So while the party functionaries were sidelined, governance fell more into the hands of bureaucrats. These were the complaints. Okay. So the new BJP is becoming the repeat of an old Congress. Anyway, please read, and what from the point of view of examination is important is that there is a new leadership in Uttarakhand, and that is Tirath Singh Rawat, who had been an MP from Garhwal. Regulation redux. An environmental regulator can work only if government see the value of nature. Listen, this also we discussed as a news item, but immediately the Hindu wrote as an editorial. The Supreme Court's notice to the centre on a public interest litigation plea to set up National Environmental Regulator under the Environment Protection Act 1986. As per the Environment Protection Act 1986, the central government was to install an independent environmental regulator that revises an issue that successive governments have preferred to ignore. Despite the Act of 1986, successive governments successfully ignored, did not mind to set up an environmental regulator. There is no consensus on what a new regulator can achieve, since official policy privileges is of doing business. The draft Environmental Impact Assessment EIA notification 2020, which seeks to advance that goal, makes no effort to disguise the desire to virtually eliminate civil society's role. It does not encourage the public to voice its views and report violations, while independent scrutiny of proposals is weakened. Okay, so the essence of the story is this: in the 1986 Act, Environment Protection Act, says that the central government should install an independent environmental regulator, but governments one after the other ever since then have successfully brushed this proposal under the carpet, and no environmental regulator was installed so far. But when the court got another opportunity, it has asked this government, what have you done for installing the independent regulator? When big proposals come, presently the ministry, which is a part of the government, clears the proposal. So for the want of the so-called development, the environment, the natural ecosystem takes the back seat. But once an independent regulator comes, big proposals, big development plans may require the clearance, environmental clearance from that independent agency. That is the reason why the governments after that have not come out with an independent regulator. The second question comes to you. Ramagundam, where the country's biggest floating solar power plant by generation capacity is coming up, is in. Where is Ramagundam situated? Ramagundam is the place where the biggest floating solar power plant by generation capacity is coming up. Is it in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra or Maharashtra? It is a 100 megawatt power plant developed by National Thermal Power Corporation, NTPC. NTPC has got huge wasteland available with itself in different locations. So, they plan to convert those plants into captive solar power plants. Okay. So, the answer that is given by Aparna is correct. It is a third option. It is Telangana. A 100 megawatt power plant is coming up in Telangana. Work on floating solar power plant in final stages. Country's biggest floating power plant till date by generation capacity, which is being developed by NTPC in the reservoir of its thermal power plant in Ramagundam in Telangana, Pedapalli district in Telangana. Ramagundam in Pedapalli district in Telangana. Please take note of that, a very important project. Work on the 100 megawatt plant is in the final stage of completion. Okay. Fourth question, the year-long program of commemoration of the 75th year of India's independence is named as Atmanirbhar Bharat, Amrit Mahotsav, Freedom at 75, Hamara Bharat, Mera Desh. What is the name given to the 75-year-long 75th year of India's independence commemoration? Okay. Let more responses come. Very good. It is correct. It is Amrit Mahotsav. The second option, Amrit Mahotsav is correct. That is very important question. In fact, till the next 2 years, next one more year, it is going to be very, very relevant. Prime Minister's planned speech in Lok Sabha shelved. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's plans to make a statement in Lok Sabha on Wednesday on plans for the commemoration of the 75th years of independence in 2022 were shelved as the House could not come to order, and what Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi termed as lack of consensus on making the statement. Okay, the more than a year-long program of commemoration has been called Amrit Mahotsav. The 75th anniversary of independence is about to start, and Honorable Prime Minister wanted to make a statement of this kind, but which could not be done. Anyway, the Amrit Mahotsav is the title given to this, the Independence Day program of 2022, when India would complete her 75th years of independence. PMSSN, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi, which has been cleared by the Union Cabinet recently, is a single non-lapsable reserve fund for dash: education, defense, cleanliness, health or yoga. Very important government scheme. PMSSN. Your time is up. Quickly give me the answer. I await your answers. quickly give me. PMSSN, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi. Yes, very good. The answer is correct. It is health. Major benefits of PMSSN will be the enhanced access to universal and affordable health care through availability of earmarked resources, while ensuring that the fund does not lapse even at the end of the financial year. Generally, government funds get lapsed once the financial year ends, meaning that fund has to be used within that year, but this is going to be a non-lapsable reserve fund for health. What is that? PMSSN, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi, will be a single non-lapsable reserve fund for health. Very important question. Cabinet clears fund for health care. The Union Cabinet approved Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi, a single non-lapsable reserve fund for health from the proceeds of health and education cess levied under section 136B of Finance Act of 2007. So we should understand that in 2018 budget, the central government, while announcing Ayushman Bharat scheme, also announced replacement of existing 3% education cess by 4% health and education cess. So we know that primary education cess is 2%, higher education cess is 1%, and now for health another 1%. So total 4% is the cess. We must understand that the cess collected by the central government need not be shared with the states. So the central government can use all the funds. So this particular fund will be used for PMSSN also. Lloyd Austin, who is visiting India in the month of March 2021, is the US State Secretary, Treasury Secretary, Foreign Secretary, Trade Secretary or Defense Secretary. Who is Lloyd Austin? In fact, we discussed all these things. I am sure that my students would give the correct answer. Your time is up. Yes, the correct answer is that he is the Defense Secretary. Lloyd Austin is the US Defense Secretary, meaning equivalent to our Union Cabinet Minister for Defense. US Defense Secretary to visit India. American Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will visit India from March 19 to 21 and meet Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and other leaders, says Pentagon. The defense headquarters of America is called the Pentagon. The secretary, whose trips begins on Saturday, will also visit Japan and South Korea and the Indo-US Pacific Command in Hawaii. Okay. So Secretary Austin will meet his counterparts and other senior officials and discuss importance of international defense relationships and reinforce US commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific region. We should read it along with the ongoing Quad summit for a free and open Indo-Pacific. Quad leaders are the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister of Australia, United States of America and Japan. Okay, so read it along with the defense secretaries visit. India and United States of America, both are democracies, and democracies have got they are natural leaders. Democracies are natural relationship, democracy. Both the countries are big democracies, so they have got many things common. India filing appeal against Kane arbitration award, says sources. We discussed this particular thing also in detail. Now I am very sure that you understand that we get everything as a story now. A story is developing, a story is breaking first, it is developing and we read it along and now we know it as a story. Listen, Kane Energy PLC of England was given a demand for 1.2 billion by the Indian tax authorities, the income tax department, which Kane countered in the International Arbitration Court in Singapore, and the arbitration court said that the Indian government should return the money to Kane Energy, but the government of India, it looks as if is going against the verdict, and government of India stand is that it is the prerogative of the government or sovereign to tax and cannot be determined by any arbitration court. Anyway, Kane Energy is moving stronger, and they are saying that they will be forced to attach Indian assets in foreign countries if 1.2 billion is not returned. Manu Sawhney, the ICC CEO, who has been put on forced leave after an investigation found evidence of misconduct, is a nationality of Manu Sawhney, India, Sri Lanka, England, South Africa, Bangladesh. He is the CEO of Chief Executive Officer of the International Cricket Council. He is the CEO of the International Cricket Council. Yes, he is an Indian nationality. So the answer is choice number 1, he is an Indian nationality. ICC Chief Sawhney on forced leave. International Cricket Council has put Chief Executive Officer Manu Sawhney on forced leave after an investigation found evidence of misconduct, the world body sources said. Okay, so ICC official would not say what allegations had been made, but Indian media said they involved the treatment of staff and some decisions. Okay, Sawhney has been in the post for less than 2 years now. My dear students, thank you very much. At 3 o'clock, there will be another live program on either math or English or reasoning. Make sure that you attend that program also. The questions that we discussed now will be available in the daily Gyan section of our application. Every week I shall be giving you previous week's general awareness, not the questions that we discuss here, more than that in detail. That too will be available in the mobile application. Please ensure that all the students watch and revise those questions, attempt the examinations and revise. So at some point of time we will reach a level where we get all the questions that would come for the examination. General awareness, especially current events, is an important topic for all the examinations. So thank you very much. Thanks for the kind participation. We shall meet. Goodbye.